think about whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing about exposing and just sharing and being authentic with each other. I mean, that's passion. That's really love, to get to the point of just being able to clear it so we can be with each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we get to practice not taking it personally. You know, because there's a lot of things that, you know, I might have to say to you. It's all my perception, I know. But you're the target right now. and you know, and yeah, it's just like beautiful, and the exposing is to really heal it, not make it real. So I'm taking full responsibility for my own mind when I'm sharing with you that I think your ears are like backwards or something. I don't know, whatever.
And then I get the opportunity to see where I want to buy into the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where if she says she hates my guts, or she thinks I'm a hypocrite, or whatever it is, do I want to buy into that and think that I need to defend it and prove why I'm not the things that she's saying? Or do I really want to see that this is just a cosmic costume, so to speak? This really is not who I am, and this is all just a beautiful opportunity to let what needs to be said, so that it can actually be experienced as unreal. Instead of just talking about, oh, the world's an illusion, it's not real, we're not bodies, you know, we are free, we are as God created. You know, it's like there's 1,200 pages in a little blue book all talking about that. But it's like, let's have the experience of it.
Yeah, because sometimes the ego wants me to say, oh no, if you go and say all that stuff that you're thinking, you're just going to be trying to be making them feel guilty. And I want them to feel guilty, so maybe I'll go say all that.
Yeah.
That ego just comes right in immediately.
It's very, well, yeah. And the thing is, it's just like static around the Christ, right? But that's the thought system we've been operating under. So it is like the Matrix, layer upon layer upon layer, and loophole, and you know, and sometimes we think, oh my God, it's impossible. But it is possible to lift up from it. Because the Spirit will lift the mind up, and the spirit realities will dawn. We just have to be willing to look at the thoughts and expose them, and not think them real, and not take them personally, and you know, do all that stuff with them.
And be willing to be wrong.
And be willing to be wrong.
And I realize that I'm doing it to myself. And no one's doing it to me, and I saw that in the movies last night. I said, come on, because they were doing that, you know.
Yeah.
I said, there it is, I'm doing it to myself. It's not the characters in the movie that I'm noticing, it's really how I'm seeing myself, because that's how I'm seeing them.
Yeah, and really to get with that, you know, it's like, I'm seeing my mind. I'm seeing my mind. You know, really to reflect on that a little bit. You know, I'm seeing my mind. Oh. Yeah. It's beautiful.
It seems like we stay in those interpretations though for as long as it takes us to decide we want another way.
Yeah.
Really, it's like we've had 12 months of like a marriage of mirroring and interpreting what the other one's thinking, you know, like it seems like, you know, somehow there's been a thought that everybody thinks the same as what I do, and it's not true. It's just seemingly not true. So we stay in interpretation for a long time, or not. It really is that same choice of permission to decide to get out of that as well, to see it another way. Because we could stay in interpretation mode all our lives. But why do we want to do that? Really?
So we're not worthy.
Yeah, so it's questioning the whole belief of who we are and what we're worthy of, like you said. So it's like there comes a point, or I'm glad there's come a point, where, but it seemed for me to start with not taking it personally.
Yeah.
I had to go through that step before I could even look at the interpretations, really, to let them go.
Yeah, I had to read that section in the little 4 agreements about not taking it personally. I had to read it over and over, and so it started to, you know, make sense and to integrate.
You can't push the river, right?
Yeah.
You know, and when the mind is ready for that step, it's ready for that step.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, I read the course and was like, oh my God. And then so my mind set up what that looked like for this character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh, that's bad, and I'm not a body, and I just went around screaming, you know, for a while, because it's like, so I locked myself in this is what it's supposed to be, and I'm not a body, but I really believe I'm a body, but I'm not a body, you know, and it's like this, yeah, I don't know, I'll just share that, it was all, yeah, it's schizophrenic. Yeah, I don't really, I guess that's all.
It's just to let it flow and not force it.
Yeah, to know that, okay, the mind is ready for this step now. It can't jump a step.
No.
It can't jump a step from here to there, you know, 3 down, because you're missing all the goodies in between. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of goodies there. There's a lot of golden nuggets there for you to see. How do I know that?
Step by step.
Yeah. I mean, you know. Okay, so the Course is saying, you know, I'm not a body. I don't believe that, but I want to believe that. You know, and so I get a step and I look at it, and then, you know, and then I get to see where I still value it or not, and then I really want to let it go or not. You know, just so it's a great way to see where your mind is.
Yeah.
And then when you look at that and you can see, oh yeah, I've been really stubborn. I've been, and you get to just see in the moment.
And
you don't gotta dig, it's just step by step.
Wrong with that.
No.
There's nothing wrong with how long it seems to take.
No.
But I feel like it's also very helpful to remember it is always a choice.
Yes.
We can't force ourselves into anything. If there seems to be resistance and fear seem to be high, then and dedication weak, then you know we can't push it. We need to be gentle with ourselves.
Yeah.
But we can always remember that is a choice. Mm-hmm. And it's like this idea of interpreting how things should go or what things mean or what someone else is thinking. It's like not only does that lead to perception, but it leads to judgment. So this idea of judgment can be seen as just a choice. It doesn't need to be made so serious. It doesn't need to be made real. And we don't have to punish ourselves. If I see that I'm judging anyone else or judging myself, I don't have to sit here and, you know, take the whip out and whip my back and, you know, do all these other things. Yeah. And if I'm not ready to let it go, that's okay too. But ultimately, it comes to a point where I do get the opportunity to see that it's just a choice. It's like, there's nothing wrong if I judge, you know, I'm not all of a sudden going to be damned to hell for the rest of seeming life for eternity. But I have a choice not to judge too quickly. I have a choice to just take that moment, to just pause. Anytime anything happens and there seems to be the desire for a reaction or the desire for an interpretation or judgment, I have the choice to pause and ask to see it differently. And it's beautiful because, like we've mentioned, the idea of strawberry state of mind or experiment in innocence. It's like this whole world, everything that seems to happen is just a backdrop. It's just a backdrop to practice experimenting and being innocent. It's just a backdrop to practice seeing where I want to make something real or anything other than just completely being. Just being present in the moment, being in the flow. Not carrying what happens, not trying to make something happen, running to it, or avoid something from happening, running from it. It's just like in any given moment, there's infinite possibilities. And can I trust that what's given, of all those infinite possibilities, whatever's given in that moment, can I trust that it's perfectly orchestrated? Can I trust that it's happening for a reason, that there's never anything wrong? It's like, yeah, so everything is a backdrop, whether it's strawberry or computers or playing music, drawing art, downloading clips, anything in form is always just a backdrop. And I just love that. It's like to start to see it that way, and to start to use it that way, and to start to play with it that way, and to have the experience that I feel like, you know, is God's will for us. It is perfect happiness. And to start to have that experience more and more and more and more consistently, it's like, yes, let me have some more. Let me have some more.
As the rock says,
Yes.
be still and know that I am.
Yeah, that's beautiful.